What is going on, traders, and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. Glad to have you. Now in this video, we're going to be going over the watch list for the week of December 6, 2021. All right, let's get to it. So what can we say about the start of this month? I know a lot of us were looking forward to December being a bullish month, everything running up, the Christmas rally and all that. But instead, we got hit with another curveball, this time a South African variant that showed up in the United States now. So given what we've gone through in the last year or so, it's not surprising that the stock market is reacting the way that it is. We just have to play what we see. All right. Now, right here, I have the QQQ pulled up. It's the index that tracks the NASDAQ. So for those that don't know, a lot of the popular tech stocks are in the NASDAQ, so you can watch the QQQ to see what's going on within the tech sector. I marked off a few levels that I'll be watching here. This is the end of July, where it consolidated around here before pushing up until the end of August. It consolidated again before selling off. Then it pushed up from here all the way until the beginning of November, where it consolidated again, hit all-time highs before selling off. Now right here in this area right here is where the Omicron variant news came out. And since then we've been selling off. So let's look at something positive here, possibly positive. So right here in the last 8 hours of trading, you can see that it double bottomed around 380 or so, 379, 380. So if you want to look at this in a positive light, maybe the market in the tech sector could push up over the next week or so. Or if we get some bad news, it could sell off. So if it's going to sell off, the next level that I'll be watching is around 370. So if the market wants to rally, it can shoot up from here. But if things decide that it wants to continue to sell off, we're going to be watching the 370 level. Okay. I understand that even with the market selling off, there's still opportunities to make money. I mean, you can do it two ways. You can either sit on your hands and just watch what happens, or you can take advantage of it. Here's a good example of that. Here's Docusign, ticker symbol DOCU. Now, at the close of market here, Docusign was around $233. The put options for the 160 call was $5. They had a bad earnings and bad guidance for the future. It sold off $100. At one point, these options, those $160 puts that were $5 the day before, were selling for $2,000 each. So you can do the math on that and see how much you would have made if you had bought put options on this. Okay. So like I said, you can look at it two ways. You can either sit on your hands or complain about things selling off, or you can ride the train also and get in on these puts on some of these stocks selling off. Okay. And since we're talking about stocks that are selling off, here's a scan that I use to look for stocks that are selling off quite a bit that I might be interested in. And I call it my Beatdown option stocks. So I'm only looking at stocks that have options, that have a lot of open interest with a minimum of 500. Here I have it sorted by the percent change. And as you can see here, Docusign was at the top of the list, down 42%. And it goes from there. I had 193 stocks in this scan, so I'm not going to go through them. But if you use Thinkorswim and you want to use this scanner just to look at what stocks are out there, I'll leave a link in the description of this video. Okay. Real quick, here's another scan that I use to look for all the stocks that are having earnings in the coming week. Right here, I have it set to any stock that is at least $70 or more. You can change this to $5 or whatever criteria you want, but I tend to look for the higher price stocks because if they have a good earnings or bad earnings, it's going to move more volatility. Okay. So if you're interested in this one, I'll also leave a link to this scan in the description of this video. Okay. So looking into this upcoming week, some the higher ones that I'm going to be keeping my eye on is GameStop. Restoration Hardware, Lululemon, AutoZone, Costco, and Broadcom. Those are the ones that I'm going to be watching from this earnings list, okay? All right, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the other stocks that I'm going to be watching this week. Starting off with Chargepoint, ticker symbol CHPT. Now, Chargepoint has earnings after hours on Tuesday. Let's zoom in a little bit here on the 15-minute chart. Now, if Chargepoint has good earnings, I'm going to be looking at Chargepoint to shoot up between $23 with a max of $25, $35 or so on good earnings. Now, if they have bad earnings or bad guidance for the future Q4 or something like that, the levels that I'll be watching is this consolidation zone that it had back from the middle of September. All right, between $21 and $20. If it can't hold that and it drops below $19.40, the next level that I'll be looking at is around $18. So this is the zone. If they have good earnings, the max $25, $35. If they have bad earnings, it could drop to $17.93 or so. That's just the level that I have marked. And if the market continues to sell off, it could even drop even further. So those are the levels for Chargepoint. Next up is NIO, ticker symbol NIO. Now, with the news that the Chinese government was forcing the company DIDI, ticker symbol DIDI, to delist from the stock market, it brought back those same concerns about other Chinese businesses, and NIO is caught up in that also. So with that news, you can see NIO sold off from around $41 or so all the way down to $31. Now, if NIO doesn't, let me zoom in a little bit. Now, if NIO doesn't come out with a statement saying that they're not in jeopardy of being delisted anytime soon, that uncertainty could continue in this stock and others. So the levels that I'll be watching on NIO is if it can't hold 31.75 or so, it'll hit this new consolidation zone that I have here between $29 and $26. Now, if it can't hold that, the next level that I have is $22 or so, and then the next one under that, $20. I doubt NIO will get this far down, but you never know. And if NIO does come out with some kind of statement saying that, that they're not in jeopardy of being delisted or anything like that, look for a small rally back up to $40 or so, okay? Sticking with the Chinese stocks, another one I'll be watching is Alibaba, ticker symbol BABA. Now, I think it's wild that Alibaba got as low as $108 this week. If I go out on the weekly, you can see that back in October, Alibaba was up to $319, but now it's sitting around $111. Now, the same vein as NIO, if they don't come out with a statement saying that they're not in jeopardy of being delisted or they're not in talks to be delisted or anything like that, Alibaba could fall even further than it is now. $100 is a psychological level that maybe some traders may try to hold it at, but if it can't hold that, the next consolidation level that I have for Alibaba is around $88. That would be something if it fell all the way down here, but like I said earlier in the video, if it does fall that far, I will be on that train with puts, okay? Now, if they do come out with a statement saying that they're not in jeopardy or anything like that, then I'm looking for Alibaba to rebound up to around 123.75 or higher after that, okay? All right, the last one I'm going to be looking at is Lucid, ticker symbol LCID. Now, Lucid is part of the NASDAQ. It's part of the EV sector, so it's a tech stock that's been selling off with everything else. I also believe it's been selling off since Elon has been selling his share. So when Tesla pulls in the EV market, a lot of the other EVs follow suit. So I'll be watching Lucid to see if it can hold between $46 and $42. Now, if it can't hold that, the next level I have for it is $39. If it can't hold that, the next level I have is $33. Now, if the market does rally and the QQQ starts to head up, the ceiling that I have for this week for Lucid would be $57.55, okay? One bonus one that I seem to talk about every week is going to be Rocket Lab, ticker symbol RKLB. Now, earlier this week, Peter Beck and Rocket Lab came out with a presentation on YouTube giving details on their neutron rocket that they're working on. And I thought it was a fantastic presentation. But despite this good news and the not so subtle shots at SpaceX that they took, with the market selling off, it could not rally or take advantage of that good news and end up selling off with the rest of the market. Got as low as around $12.75 before stabilizing around $13. Now, if the market continues to sell off, the next level I'll be looking for it to hold is $12.50 or so. If it can't hold that, then the next level down will be around $12.35. And if it can't hold that, the next level below that will be around $10.45. Now, if it gets down to $10.45 or $9.50, I will be filling out my position in this ticker and just sitting on them for a while, okay? And that is the end of the video. If you found value, please feel free to give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Now, I'm going to leave a link to the Rocket Lab Neutron presentation also in the description. So there's going to be 3 links, 2 to the scanners that I talked about and this presentation. So here's wishing you a healthy and prosperous week of trading. And until next week, talk to you later.